Have we started?
We have.
Cool. Right, thank you everybody for joining us for show and tell number 7. So this is our penultimate show and tell for the alpha phase. So agenda up there can be pretty quick, and then we'll get through to the interesting bit, which is the low code demo. So core project team is as it's been throughout, so no to talk about that. Update from me very briefly is we're going to have our summary alpha report ready in a couple of weeks, so we'll cover that in like the next show and tell and just kind of give a summary of everything we've done so far and where we're going next. There's going to be a funding application going in for the next phase beta, which will be submitted like probably in May. Realistically, that probably wouldn't get approved until July, but we're going to continue working anyway. So like the work we're going to do on this project is not linked to any funding we may or may not get. That's just a happy bonus if it comes in. But if we do want to get that funding, we do need to get some partner councils signed up. So I've been having a couple of chats with a couple of councils already. I'm looking for others. So I'm pretty sure we can get some partners to work on the next phase at some point, which would be good. Because what that enables us to do is then like kind of look at the way that we work and look at how other people work and kind of take the best bits from each council and blend it together. So there's a bit of like a peer review exercise in there. So yeah, that's kind of us. So like I say, 2 weeks from now, we'll be finishing up this alpha phase, getting straight into the next phase beta, and then yeah, hopefully pushing out new functionality to all of you as soon as possible. So I'll pass over to Richard, who's going to talk about a bit about usability testing we did this week.
Thank you very much, Tom. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. So yeah, as Tom just mentioned, we have started the usability testing on the low-code platforms that have been provided from the low-code platform providers. That's a bit of a mouthful there. So as you'll see, the housing customer service officers, we've started doing the testing on those low-code platform versions with them. Myself and Miranda were on site at Redbridge yesterday, and we worked closely with 2 housing officers and 1 customer service officer. So what we're doing is we are looking at the ways in which the housing officers and customer service officers interact with these versions, and also doing analysis of how efficient these versions are, as well as scoring the user experience. So that's all being documented, and at the end of each session on each process, the housing and customer service officers are being asked to complete surveys around their experience of using those particular platforms. PlaceCube, who are doing a demo shortly after this, we'll be testing their platform next week. We'll be doing that remotely. And then all the insights of the usability testing will be included in the final alpha report, which is sort of due at the end of this month. So without much further ado, I will pass over to PlaceCube.
Thank you. So I'm just going to start off with a very brief bit of telling and then hand over to Dave for the actual show bit. So this week we're going to show you the prototype that we've built for Sold to Joint Tenancy. I'm very aware that you've already seen 2 versions of the prototypes, and to some extent it's just going to look like more of the same today. So before Dave starts the demo, I thought it would be useful to just share a little bit more about how we've approached the alpha so you understand what's going on behind the scenes. So we've built this on Digital Place for Local Public Services, which is our open digital platform for councils. And when we first saw the early work on the wireframes, we thought our approach would probably be to combine the form builder with a case management module that we co-designed with Camden to provide the housing officer dashboards, plus some of the integration connectors we previously built with other councils when we did some housing tenancy work with Bristol on the Northgate system. But then as we worked on the prototype, we realized that using the case management module was probably overkill. The process is relatively simple, just one step after the other. And so we've built it using a multi-stage form component and some elements of the web content management system to build the dashboard as a fragment. And we've applied your styling using a master page template. The data that's been drawn out of your mock API has been stored as a set of records in another component of the system that's used by councils like Dorset for a variety of assets like car parks or libraries. So we're using it for properties. Anyway, I won't spend any more time telling you about what we've done. Let me pass you over to Dave, who's going to show you the demo.
Thanks, Gavin. Morning, everybody. I'll just share my screen. Hopefully everybody can see a housing dashboard. Yes. Okay, great. We're logged in as a housing officer. We're on a dashboard currently, and I'll show you around the system a little bit. So first, I'm just going to do an empty show just to show that we've loaded all the property details from Redbridge into here. So we have all the properties stored as records within Digital Place, along with the tenants and occupants linked as user accounts within here. But say we'd had a call from somebody, they gave an address, Wellington Road. We put the search in there. We can then find the result, click on that, and we get to see the property detail page. So this is rendering all the details of the property, including all the address, status, etc. We can see we've got a single tenant and 2 occupants in here. We've also got the rent section showing the status of their rent balance and stuff like that. On the right hand side, we have a list of current active processes. These are all ones I probably kicked off this morning testing before this demo. And we also have this drop down so we can start a new process. At the moment for this alpha, it's just sold to joint succession and change details that works. So we're going to go with sold to joint. Click on that. And what that'll do is it'll take us to kind of the first step of the form. So we've got this information page here that the housing officer can read through and read out to the tenant who's called up. We get to choose whether it's the tenant's correct email address. I'm going to change this just for the purpose of this demo so that I receive the emails. So that's my email address. Tick that we confirm all that stuff and then click start sold to joint process. And now we have a list of occupants for this particular property, 14 Wellington Road. We're going to choose one. It's Ira Jones. Click next. And the first thing that's happened, we've got this automatic eligibility check. So this is doing a call out to the property record to get the rent balance and checking whether it's essentially whether it's positive or negative, whether it's in arrears or not. In this case, it's not, so we can continue. Got a few other questions here. Has the tenant previously succeeded tenancy? No. So with these, we have to answer no to carry on. If we answered yes, then that's kind of the end of the process. If we do answer yes to some of these, we'll get a pop-up asking us to give some more information. But we're going to go down the happy path today. We'll go with no. And we come to this page, this kind of final page of this section. We've got this panel here with we can view the previous answers there using the show all. There's an email that's going to be sent to the tenant by this email address here, david.burrows. So when we click the send request for evidence button, what it will do now is save progress on the form, redirect us to the dashboard here, and also send an email off to the tenants. So you can see at the top, we've got a status update here, evidence requested from tenant. It's not appeared on the dashboard yet because there's nothing for housing officers to do until they submit their evidence. So if we go and look at look at my inbox, we'll see we've just received this email here. Click on that. So we've got this email from Digital Place. It's addressed to us as John Resident. This is using the template and copy that was provided by Redbridge. If we scroll down, we have a link here to go and upload our evidence. So we'll click that. That will take us to the form. So from here, we can choose to upload from our local computer. In this case, let's do a marriage certificate. That's good. So we'll add that. We can add an additional document. One of the advantages of Digital Place is that if you've uploaded documents for previous services or other services, they're recorded here, so you can choose them. So for this one, I'll choose an existing bank statement I've uploaded. We'll just quickly add one more. We'll add passport. So we're going to submit that evidence. So that redirects the tenant off to this in this case, a very simple confirmation page. This is fully templated, so it could be whatever you guys want it to be. It's also saved the progress. It's if we go to the dashboard now and refresh this, We can see we've got our Wellington Road cases appeared at the bottom here. It's awaiting housing officer review. Emails would have been sent to the housing officers as well, letting them know that there's a case to answer. So you can see an example of that at the top here. So we could click there to access it, or we can go to the dashboard and click on here to go and have a look at what they've added. We come here. So we can always check the previous answers as well for questions here with these boxes. We can go and have a look at these documents here. So you can see the documents that have been uploaded, which is that one, which is, and then provide a type for that. So that's proof of address, I guess, address history. The marriage certificate, we can see that's there. So we'll choose marriage certificate. And the final one, just quickly check. Yeah, that's a passport. So that's passport. Then we can decide whether the evidence supports the sole to joint application. If we're to select no at this point, then we get a box to provide evidence, provide a reason for not. But in this case, yeah, we're going to go with yes and submit that. So yeah, we're on to the next page now. We can review our previous answers again here. We're using these boxes. And when we click this box here, it's going to submit its application for enhanced checks. So what will happen when I hit that is the progress is saved on the form, redirected back to our dashboard. We've got the update at the top telling us what's going on, submitted for enhanced checks. You'll see the case has disappeared from our work list because it's no longer needs work by us, it's been assigned to somebody else. So if we go across to the enhanced checks dashboard, this is empty at the moment. If we refresh this, you see the case has appeared here. So this is whoever the kind of officers are that do the enhanced checks. This will be their dashboard. They can click on this case here. And taken through to this stage, they can review the answers via these boxes here. Click to say they've reviewed it, enter their Opus case reference number, and then they can give their recommendation. If they choose anything other than approve, they get asked for a reason why for each of these. But again, in this case, we're going to go with approve, then the happy path, and submit that recommendation. So that saves the progress again, redirects us back to our enhanced checks dashboard. We've completed that case, so it's disappeared from our dashboard now. If we switch back to the housing officers dashboard and refresh here, you'll see it's reappeared at the bottom. So there's some work for us to do here. So we'll click on that. Get taken to this stage. You can see the enhanced checks officer recommendation is approved case. So we're going to choose to approve the application, click. And then now it's for the housing officer to go and arrange an appointment offline with the tenants and proposed tenants, where they'll get a signed agreement. Once they're happy they've done that, they tick that box, click submit, and they're taken back to the dashboard. So see the status: awaiting appointment to sign tenancy agreement, and the case status is awaiting signature. So now some time may pass, the appointment will happen, the documents will get signed, and the housing officer will come back here and click their case. We'll take them to kind of the final stage, where they get to upload the signed tenancy agreement. Just so happens I have one already here, so click on that one, and we're going to finish this sole to joint application. So click that button. That will complete the case. It will email the tenant and proposed tenant. It will update the occupant's status within the system move them from occupant to tenant. And you see the case has disappeared from here because it's complete. So just to finish the demo, we'll go and have a look at the Wellington, number 14 Wellington Road, and just confirm that Ira Jones is now listed as a tenant. We move from occupants to tenants. Okay, that's the end of the demo. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. I think we've got at least one hand up. So
Oh, sorry, I can't see hands when I'm sharing my screen, so I've got no idea.
No, it's fine. You should go with
Hi.
Cool. Anne, I think, was first up.
Yeah, I'm Sylvia from Redbridge Council.
Oh, hi.
I thought we mixed out on the fraud check. A sort to join process usually goes through the um, fraud check.
And that's the enhanced one. That's them. But the enhanced checks is
Okay.
Peter and Lee. Yeah, that's what they mean
Okay,
by
that's
enhanced
fine.
checks. That's the
Yeah.
Peter and Lee one. Yeah.
Yeah, so the enhanced
Right.
checks aren't included. Well, weren't included in design, so I guess they do those offline and just confirm they've done them as part of this process. Obviously, that could be included in future as an enhancement to this. But yeah, we just kind of follow the designs we were given. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So the designs that we passed over looked at kind of really what the housing officers would be doing. So what we'd need is like a similar application linked into this profile or linked into this process, sorry, that would then be used by the enhanced checks team to kind of get their list of checks that need to be done in and for them to manage that work. Okay, Jane.
Yeah, hi. Me and Rani met with Miranda and Richard yesterday, and we both raised that the process on both sole to joint and the succession one, the process is in the wrong order.
Right.
We need the enhanced checks to be right at the beginning when we ask for evidence, so you get all the evidence at the same time. You don't kind of get the tenant's evidence and then ask for enhanced. You get it all at the beginning, so you need to kind of change some of the process on the side.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, kind of the advantage of working in like low code platforms is we have like these different like kind of snippets of the process, and so to move one of them further up the order isn't a big problem.
Yeah, that's right. It's very easy to switch things around. We use a form builder, so pages can be brought forwards, and yeah, the process can be changed very easily by the interface.
Yeah, there were some other issues as well yesterday, but I know Richard and Miranda kind of wrote them down, kind of bits that kind of didn't need to be on there or shouldn't be on there. So hopefully there'll be another kind of version that we get to see and go through it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the way we kind of want to work is rather than getting like a big list of requirements, taking them behind a curtain and then bringing something back, it's much more like kind of collaborative. And so getting this feedback from you and then iterating the design like constantly until we get to like the right solution is like very much part of the plan.
Okay.
Cool. Right. Are there any further questions for anybody?
Just one, Tom, if I can. Yeah. If a tenant isn't very computer savvy, they want to send their evidence to us. Where do we upload that in the same way as we would upload the last bit on the tenancy agreement? You know, the sign up agreement. Yeah, we can do. So, like for the purpose of this little project, we've just been working on the assumption that everybody would do everything online, but we can add in the functionality there that if somebody like submits a document through the post or whatever, you could scan it and upload a copy that way. Right. So yeah. Okay, thank you. Cool. Okay. Any final questions?
Sorry, Tom, is it just fair to say, just to clarify for housing officers, that this is really just like a prototype and a like a pilot, and we will be refining this in the next phase of the project, such as beta. So it's like looking at all the processes again and just making sure they work properly, because we are aware that there are parts of the succession process that aren't correct, and that was sort of reinforced in the testing that Richard and I did yesterday. Yeah. But yeah, it's something that we will be working on. Yeah, exactly that. And so I guess like the focus of the next phase of work will be taking all the feedback that we got yesterday from people and feedback we received previously as well, and kind of creating like a version 2 of this, testing that again with you. And then if we need to create a version 3 or a version 4, we'll keep doing that until we kind of get everything exactly down the way you like it.
Yeah, I think just to follow up with what Tom's saying, that's the beauty of usability testing. It's like we can find out these issues or any snags with the processes at this point before we start developing it in beta. So from my point of view, and actually from Miranda's point of view, all the effort that the housing officers and customer service officers have put in with their time to do the usability testing is starting to pay off. So sort of just to back up what we said to you yesterday, Jane, when we get around to the next version, those sort of insights and comments from yourself and your colleagues will be taken into account, and hopefully the next the next version you see will be all singing and all dancing for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ace. Right. Well, thank you everybody for your time. And Rich was saying as well, like, thank you for all the effort you put into like usability testing and like the user research we've been doing over like the last couple of months. We will see everybody back here in 2 weeks to kind of go over the summary report, and we'll be in touch before then for more testing and more research. So thank you everybody for your work. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, it's looking good. Thanks very much. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks all.
Cheers all.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.